Dear televiewers of Divine Mercy Radio and Television of the Diocese of Buea, welcome again to another edition of You and the Law, presented to you by me, your host, Reverend Father Barrister Emil Tanka. Thank you very much for always being there. We are happy that you are there. Thank you very much for all the contributions and sacrifices that you have been making towards the growth of this television and radio station, the Diocese of Buea. With me, I have here Barrister William Ateba Marafa. Barrister, you are welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Council. I'm much grateful for this invite, and once again impressed to make sure to come to the awareness that such a program is being undertaken, especially by the church, to sensitize the masses on the law. Thank you once more. This is my second time of appearing here, and I'm more than impressed and grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It is of your interest to know that Barrister Ateba Marafa William is a holder of Master's degree of International Law from the University of Buea, and also he is a holder of the Certificate of Barrister at Law in the prestigious Gambian University. Barrister, you are welcome. Today we are mainly going to talk on the legal profession, particularly the barrister. And we must understand that this legal profession is being organized and regulated by law number 90/059 of 19 November 1990, which regulates the legal profession. This legal profession, quite often we used to hear people call a barrister, people call a lawyer, some refer to as solicitors, some as notary public, some as advocates. You know, all these, we are going to simplify these terms to you so that you get to understand it properly and know when to use what at what time. Right away, we are going to begin by explaining to you when it comes to a lawyer. Who is a lawyer? First of all, a lawyer is someone who has studied or who has a degree in law. He is called a lawyer. He's called a lawyer. So, and a barrister at law is someone who functions in court. He must be able to give appearance in court. So I would like to invite our guest here with us, Barrister Ateba Marafa William, to be able to bring down to us these terms, which people sometimes get confused about the various terms referring to a barrister. Thank you very much, Council. I give you the floor.
Thank you once more. Thank you so much, Council, for this opportunity. As it has been noted, a barrister and a lawyer are sometimes distinct in some jurisdictions, especially in England, depending on the courts in which they can enter appearances. But in Cameroon, it's used as a similar term. As a barrister in Cameroon also qualifies as a lawyer within our jurisdiction. So when I talk about a lawyer, I look at a lawyer and a barrister, I use the terms maybe interchangeably. Here, it means the same thing. Yeah. Okay, now, the role of a lawyer in a society, in the world at large, and in our Cameroonian society in particular, cannot be overemphasized. Oftentimes you hear people ask, what is the function of a lawyer? What is the importance of a lawyer in a society? Why is it essential for you to have a lawyer?
For example, they used to say that, wait till lawyer did yourself.
Yes, wait till lawyer did yourself. Such statements are oftentimes heard in society. So wait till lawyer did yourself. That is one of the questions we are going to answer today. A lawyer is an advocate. A lawyer is a solicitor. Some lawyers are notary publics. Some lawyers are advisors, negotiators. Some lawyers are evaluators and representatives. Lawyers play a lot of functions which cannot be played by everyone else. So a lawyer as an advocate represents litigants in court. He argues cases zealously for his client within the confines of the law. You also have the job of a lawyer as a solicitor. In other jurisdictions, maybe in England, you have lawyers and solicitors or barrister solicitors who play separate roles. But here in our Cameroonian jurisdiction, a lawyer plays the role of a solicitor. These are people who draw up legal documents. A lawyer also draws up legal documents. A lawyer draws up documents like leases, drafts, wills, all these very important documents in which we need and in our day-to-day life. And we have to take note that legal documents can always be drawn by lawyers. For example, if you look at, 1974 land ordinance, it provides strictly in its section 8 that a deed shall only be set up or made by a lawyer or a notary rather. So a notary in a Cameroonian context, especially in the common law part, is a lawyer. So if you need legal services to draw up a particular document and you do it in your own individual capacity without seeking the services of a lawyer, such a document can be null and void. A lawyer also plays the role of a notary. You know, notaries play a lot of role, which stretches from authentication of documents. They also do documents like interpretation of documents. When you want to sign a document, they will ask you questions. Do you understand the context or the content of this document? And they will make sure that they do findings about the identification of the parties and so on. So international documents too are also being legalized by notaries. When you want to legalize international documents, maybe an affidavit to use for traveling purposes or whatsoever, you need the services of a lawyer, particularly here in our jurisdiction. Lawyers also play the roles of advisors. They advise you, give you legal advice. Negotiators, they negotiate on your behalf. Evaluators, representatives. Lawyers may represent you. Maybe you have your own your building or a premise which you need the services of a lawyer to carry out. So lawyers can represent you as your landlord, and that will be done within the confines of the law. Thank you, Father. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Counsel, for that explanation to the people when it comes to this lawyer and a barrister. And also must understand that this profession, the profession of a barrister and the other terms that are being used, barrister, advocate, solicitors. In the England, where this culture is coming from, they are clearly distinct, whereby a barrister is someone, his work is only to make appearance in court. He is there, his work is only in court. He does not draft legal documents. And when it comes to an advocate is someone who, he writes pleadings, he is able to bring out facts, legal arguments, bring them out in court. You know, he bring them out and is able to give a logical conclusion to a case between the laws and the evidence that are there. He's able to bring that out. Then also when it comes to a solicitor, particularly a solicitor is to be someone who is only to write legal documents. So he does not go to court when it comes to the stricto sensu of the words, of these words as being used in England. Now, when it comes to our own culture, we must begin to understand that the barrister and the solicitor is a fused profession. It was not like that in England. In England, the solicitor gets a client, and if there are matters that have to go to court, he is going to present them to the barrister for the barrister to present these matters to court. So it used to be distinct, but now, especially particular as the council is saying, it is now a fused profession. And being a fused profession, they also have their official dressing, official regalia. We understand that when it comes to the barrister, people will often picture them, they will visualize a barrister as someone always in black, as I am, someone always in black, and they will visualize a barrister as someone who always tells lies. They will visualize a barrister as someone who, at the end of his life, of his earthly existence, when he's to be buried with the face facing downwards. That's how people often visualize the barrister. But it's good for us to understand that when it comes to this profession, it has the official way in which a barrister is supposed to appear, especially in court. When it comes to the court of first instance, a barrister is not obliged or quite often to put on, especially in Cameroon, they don't wear the legal regalia. So this legal regalia, we are going to show you and explain some of them so that you also get to understand why the lawyer is dressing in this particular way. So there we have the wig the wig, which you can see them, they wear it on their head, as you can see it there. You have the wig, you have the gown, that is the bib or the band. So you have this lega regalia. First of all, we must understand that the first one there is the gown you are seeing there, which is black. You see, as you see the gown there, it came in the 14th century, in the time of King Edward III. You know, they used to put this gown in the royal court, especially in official celebrations. At first, it used to be, they have different colors for different seasons. We have particularly like red, green for winter, and for summer they have particular seasons. But this black came when they were going for the burial of King Charles II. When they were going for his burial, so that is where they were all recommended that everybody should put on black. Since then, this black has come to stay. So it is an official dress for the lawyer, which he always used to appear in court. Then also this wig, this gown, as you are seeing like that, it has at the left shoulder behind, you have the money bag. The money bag, at first, you must understand that the legal profession was not meant for money. It was meant for the barristers to be able to administer justice to the people. And so that bag is a small, if you look at the lawyer's gown there, is at the back where it falls. Where after the lawyer has, or after the barrister has done his work very well, then he will turn his back. When he turns his back, it is now talking to his client. It's a message that is given to his client that it is due, or it's time for you to give your money or to give something. Then the client is going to put something in that money bag. He will put something there. Anything he puts there, the lawyer will appreciate. So they were not taking money as we are seeing now, talking about money and the rest. No, the legal profession was not about money. And I'm sure it is this same mind, this same mentality that the Bishop of the Diocese of Buea intends to bring forth by him training his priests to be barristers. Now we also look at this gown. Then also we also look at the wig, which I said already. In the 17th century, it came in the 17th century. That is the wig there. It's called, you see, is an official dress, especially for the lawyers in the higher court. And as you see this wig, if the magistrate or the judge is not putting on the wig, then a lawyer is not supposed to put it on. The lawyer will not put it on. For whatever reason that the judge has or the magistrate has, the lawyer will not put it on. But if the magistrate or the judge is putting on this wig, then the lawyer is supposed to put it on. You know, this wig also, it is also a part of the royal dressing, which was used at the time, especially during the restoration of the English monarchy during the 17th century. Then also we have the bib, you know, the two rectangular flaps that falls on the chest, white, on the chest of the barrister. It came forth in 1640. That bib there, you can show us there, the bib, you know, it is the two rectangular flap. It is on the dress of the barrister. It falls. Now it is there. It is indicating good as the bib, also called the band or the japot. You know, it is indicating. You see, there is two. What is it signifying? It is there. It is to signify the two tablets of stone on which the commandments of God were written and given to Moses. And so they are putting it on, the barristers are putting on to signify that gift, that the tablets of stones that were given to Moses. So a council, when it comes to the lega regalia of the barrister, and also barristers also have an official way in which before they put on this lega regalia, they cannot put on the lega regalia on any type of dress or whatever thing. No, they must properly be dressed with suit, the same color, the trouser and the suit, the same like that. You have the barrister there. That is how a barrister is supposed to fully be dressed. That is how a barrister is supposed to be dressed. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you very much, Counsel. I don't know, you may have some few words to add when it comes to the...
I think you've well explained elaborately the legal regalia. So we have the bib, you have the gown, and you have the wig. And you've well explained including the bib. The bib it signifies the 2 tablets of Moses where the 10 commandments were written. So it's put on it hangs on the neck and falls downward on the neck of the lawyer, which signifies the truth. It's a noble profession, a profession founded on truth and nobility. So it is there to remind you of the commandments of God and to keep you in line with the truth. That is why it is often difficult for a lawyer to operate on falsehood, because there is no way a lie can proceed through the truth of a lawyer without being suppressed by the weight of the 10 commandments which hang on his neck. Thank you once more. I think that will be it. You've done You've done the job.
We are trying to do justice to the various things that we are taking so that people can properly understand what we are trying to explain to them, and also the various means through which people can become a barrister, the various channels through which people can become a barrister, especially in Cameroon. That's regulated in the Cameroon law, as I said already there, the law of number 90/059 of 19 November 1990, which regulates the bar association. So there are various ways through which you can become a barrister. First of all, you have to go to school and have first degree. And we thank God that already in the Catholic University, like CUIB, the Catholic University of the Diocese of Buea, with the School of Law has been instituted already, and we have that there. So we are saluting the effort of the bishop to make sure that this faculty actually grows. So, and we are also inviting other students who want to study law, that we have really qualified teachers who are the professors, who are there to be able to impart on them the knowledge. Then also another way in which you can become a lawyer is when either you are you have been in a judiciary or in a legal office, you have held a particular office for in a particular capacity, you have operated in a particular capacity for 10 years as a judicial and legal officer. Then for 10 years, then after that 10 years, you can become a barrister. You can become a barrister after that. Then also, we must also understand that you can also write the Cameroon bar exams. When you write the Cameroon bar exams, you become advocate in training. After that, then you write the final exams and you are being sworn in finally as a barrister. Then also in that particular law, especially section 8 there, we talk about Cameroon nationals who have studied law in a law school outside the country and have been called to the bar in that law school. For example, Barrister Ateba Marafa William and myself, we are all barristers of the Gambia, but we are Cameroonian nationality. By that fact, the law makes provision that we as Cameroonians who have been called to the bar in a foreign jurisdiction, we can also be called to the bar in Cameroon to practice in Cameroon. And also those former lecturers, senior lecturers and professors in the university, this I also salute the effort of our teachers there. Remember, our teachers there, we have a Professor Atancho Nji. Yes, we are getting him Professor Sone Patience, Professor Cyril Monkam, Professor Ojong, and the rest. There are so many of them. We are greeting them. The law says that after 10 years of teaching, that they will be able to go through a refresher course for a non-renewable period of 6 months. And when they go through that course, then the president of the bar will greet the president, the senior barrister at law, Barrister Mba Eric. We are also greeting him as the president of the Bar Association in Cameroon presently. So he is the one who, after they have gone through that non-renewable period of 6 months, he can call them to bar. As you have been saying, these are channels through which people get into the legal profession. And as you have been saying about the barrister, the function of a barrister, the function of a barrister, rightly say so, is that, my dear brothers and sisters, a barrister, you very much need a barrister for your activities, for your transactions. Do not enter transactions without a barrister. For example, sometimes you are taken to the police station. If you are taken to the police station, tell the judiciary, tell them who are there that you will not say anything, you will not answer any question until you call your barrister. And when your barrister is there, they will be careful the way they tell all the questions that are being asked to you, because the barristers are there to watch over the law. The barristers are watchdogs of the law, and whatever thing that has happened to you, maybe is traffic or whatever thing that you have had around the way, or you want to carry out any transaction, as counsel has rightly pointed out there, make sure that you call for a barrister. Sometimes people enter even into a long transaction without consulting a barrister, and they ask that what can a barrister do? No, a barrister has a lot to play. If a barrister is there, he is going to free from so many things. Sometimes even you may have been arrested, maybe taken to the police or taken to wherever place you have been taken to. You know, you cannot be locked up if you have a barrister. Barrister is there and make sure that everything is okay. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we thank you very much. And counsel, you are going to say something else again when it comes to the function of the barrister. Thank you very much. You can add something there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, counsel. So, having said that, it is very important and essential for us to highlight some of the duties a barrister owes. A barrister owes duties not only to the court, but to the public at large, to his colleagues, and even to his client. So, what are some of these duties? Having said that, it is essential to highlight that despite all these duties which the barristers owe these various persons and institutions, the duty the barrister or the lawyer owes to the court overrides the duty he owes to all of these other personalities. So if there is a conflict between maybe a lawyer's duty to the court and a lawyer's duty to his client, the duty a lawyer owes to the court will automatically supersede and have the priority. So some of the duties a lawyer
and the law also says, just to add, yes, the law also says that in order for justice to triumph, if the barrister knows certain facts, even if they're against his case, he's supposed to put it forth.
He's supposed to put it forth. Yes. So some of the duties which the lawyer owes to the court includes the duty of honesty. You have to be honest to the court. The duty of punctuality, the duty of respect, and the duty of bringing every evidence you have in your particular case, even if it's detrimental to your case, you have the duty to bring it to court and bring it to the notice of the court, because as a lawyer, you are not just an advocate for your client, but you are a minister in the temple of justice, and it is your duty to ensure that justice is done in every case. And then some of the duties which a lawyer owes to the client includes the duty to accept brief. So you have to accept a brief that comes to you, except for a good reason, maybe conflict of interest or family or other relationship which might cause embarrassment or some other good reason. But as a lawyer, the general rule is that every case that comes to you, and you know you have the capacity to handle that case, you have to treat it. So you have the duty to obey the instructions which your client has given to you. The lawful instructions from your client must be obeyed. You have the duty to act with reasonable care and skill when handling the affairs of your client, and as well the duty of confidentiality. Whatever your client tells you must be kept confidential. Some of the duties which the lawyer also owes to his fellow advocates include the duty of respect. You have to respect your fellow advocates. You have to keep your promises which you have made to your fellow advocate, because as a lawyer, your word is your bond.
Correct.
Whatever you say, it need not be written. Whatever you've said and assured your colleague, you must keep it. So you also have the duty not to covet clients. You owe that duty to your colleagues, not to covet clients. You see some practices where lawyers meet clients of their colleagues behind and try. No, you don't have to do that. That is a monumental error. And some of the duties which the lawyer also owes to the public as a minister in the temple of justice is to ensure that in every case justice be achieved. Justice is the business of the lawyer. So the lawyer owes a duty to the public to ensure that justice is done to every case. So you must pursue justice as a lawyer and not victory in every case you handle. Justice is the rule. So you also owe this duty to the public not to instigate litigation. A lawyer should not be the one to instigate. Where there is no crime being committed, you go and instigate. So a crime can be committed or a cause of action can arise, so you can take the matter to court. No. A lawyer owes the duty to the public not to instigate litigation. Lawyers are peacemakers. So, duty not to publicize, advertise. You don't advertise yourself as a lawyer, advertise your chambers. You don't do that. It's a noble profession. Let people find you and they'll get you.
That's the reason why they wear black.
Yes.
That's the reason why they wear black. They are not supposed to be seen.
Yes.
But they're only supposed to be heard.
You are not supposed to be seen.
But their actions and what they do, they are always supposed to be heard. They are not supposed to be seen.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Counsel. Yeah.
So, no advertisement,
No advertisement.
no publicity. Distinguish yourself and you'll be known.
Yes, and that is very clear. If you look at all the law chambers, you will not see a very large signboard in front of any chambers. Watch out and see. They are very small signboard, just indicating, for example, Veritas chambers. Very small signboard. Yes. So Counsel, thank you very much. I think that's a good one there.
Yes, so there are no traffic jams at extra miles. If you want to be distinguished and if you want to be known, distinguish yourself. And then you have to behave respectably when you are in public. You should know how to behave as a lawyer because you owe the duty to the public to act in a responsible manner. So I think that will be some of the duties of a lawyer which...
Okay, thank you very much, Counsel. I think that you have elaborated on those points very, very well. And also we should understand that in England, in 1922, when the first female barrister was called to the bar, there was a confusion on what she's supposed to wear. There was a confusion. Then finally, they unanimously agreed that she should put on the same legal regalia as a man. That is the reason why there is no female at the bar. Either gentlemen in skirt or gentlemen in trousers. We don't have female at the bar. So all of us, everybody is addressed as barristers. Once more, Counsel, thank you very much for the beautiful thoughts that I have given to the people. I think that we are going to ride on next week. We are going to meet again next week. We thank you very much for always watching Divine Mercy Radio and Television, sharing the light of hope. Thank you very much. Counsel, any word?
Oh, I just wish to say thank you to you and to the audience. Thank you for following up, and I encourage you to continue this good work you started by following up every Monday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m.
Thank you very much, Counsel. And I'm sure from next week we are going to give the forum, we are going to open up whereby question will be free. We are going to be taking questions and answers because we are going to get into topics that will be much of the interest of people. Even all these topics to have been much of the interest, but we are going to open the forum whereby people will be able to send out their questions or be able to answer them. Once more, thank you very much for being there. May God continue to bless you all. We again send our regards and thanks to the proprietor of Divine Mercy Radio and Television, Bishop of Boya, Bishop Michael Bibi. May God continue to bless him and bless all the workers of Divine Mercy Radio and Television. May God bless you all. Keep us safe. Thank you.